The Montana wilderness in early February feels like walking through a crystal palace of ice. 3 feet of snow blanket the Flathead National Forest, and every gust of wind sends tiny ice crystals dancing like diamond dust in the weak sunlight. Here, beauty hides danger in every draped branch and silent shadow. It's a place where life and death waltz on a razor's edge, and today, a lone bobcat cub is trapped right in the middle of that fierce dance, his world teetering on the brink. But what happens when the cruelest forces of winter meet something no one expected? A 4-month-old bobcat with reddish-brown fur, dotted in black rosettes, steps out of his den beneath a fallen spruce, hunger roaring in his belly like a storm. He's barely 12 pounds, skin and bones, his ribs pressing through thin fur, and he's too young to fend for himself. His ears flatten, his stubby tail twitches, and every careful paw placement sends snow tumbling off branches. For 3 days, his mother's absence has echoed in the emptiness around him. Now, as he ventures into the open, instinct battles fear with each cautious sniff. Little does he know, this desperation has drawn more eyes than he can handle. The forest hush shatters with the crunch of paws. 5 wolves, drawn south by winter's starvation, closing in like living knives through snow. Leading the pack is Shadow, a battle-scarred alpha female whose dark grey coat and amber eyes betray years of hard fighting. Beside her, a massive male with a white chest cuts off the deep woods, while 3 younger wolves complete a perfect circle. Their tongues lower to suppation, radiating as they size up the cub. He's never faced anything like this. No lesson his mother taught could prepare him for a pack as ruthless as these hunters. And as his chest hammers against frozen fur, there's nowhere left to run. 20 miles away, in the small town of Whitefish, veteran wildlife biologist Jim Harrison pulls on his heavy boots beside his Ford F-150. For 30 years, he's lived by one rule. His daughter Sarah, nicknamed Kiddo, even though she's 28 and the lead vet at the Wildlife Rehabilitation Centre, hands him a steaming thermos of coffee. Warning storms are on their way. He tucks a tranquilizer gun into its holster and heads into the silent forest, unaware that fate is drawing him toward a cry he'll never forget. A sudden, high-pitched scream rips through the still air, halting Jim in his tracks. Decades of tracking predators have keyed his instincts to each howl, grunt, and whimper, but this one carries the raw terror of youth. Snowshoes crunch on drifts as he follows the sound, gun in hand, heart pound. Up ahead, he glimpses a pack of wolves hemming in a small, trembling figure against a granite outcrop. The bobcat cub is gaunt, fur bristling in fear. His ribs show beneath his coat like broken branches in the underbrush. For a moment, Jim freezes. Predation is part of the ecosystem. Yet something in that desperate cry shifts the scales. With swift resolve, Jim reaches into his pack and hurls a canister crackling with a high-pitched frequency, and a scent wolves find downright terrifying. The device bursts open, shrill noise slicing the air as a pungent musk, drifts like warning smoke. Shadow's ears flatten, her amber eyes narrowing. She steps back, flanked wolves stumbling over one another in confusion. Seizing the moment, Jim strides forward, tone firm but calm. Easy now, Shadow, there's easier prey for you. The alpha holds his gaze in a silent standoff before letting out a short, sharp howl. One by one, the wolves melt back into the trees, leaving only their tracks etched in fresh snow. Silence swells as Jim approaches the cub, who is pressed flat against the rock face, chest heaving with every terrified breath. Crouching down, Jim whispers, "Hey there, little fellow," his voice soft as falling snow. The cub hisses, more from fright than defiance, but makes no move to bolt. With practiced care, Jim wraps him in his jacket, warming the fragile bundle against his chest. He weighs the small feline in his arms, far too light for a 4-month-old. "Isera's going to love you," he murmurs, already picturing the bustling rehab centre. But can one rescue change the wild forever? The drive back seems endless, white plains stretching under an overcast sky as Jim cradles the sleeping cub in his arms. Over the radio, Sarah's voice crackles. "Dad, you know the rules, predator versus prey." Jim presses the mic. "I know, kiddo, but this one wouldn't last another day." He's ours to save. A pause, then a soft sigh of surrender. Bring him through the back. I'll have the exam room ready. No one else knew about the cub yet, but already he was rewriting the rules. Pulling up to the modest, barn-like exterior of the Montana Wildlife Rehabilitation Centre, Jim hands the bundle to Sarah. In the exam room's bright glare, she unwraps him. His once-frozen paws twitch as he blinks up at her with glassy blue eyes that promise to turn golden with age. She checks his vitals, draws blood, and eases fluids through an IV line. Emil, she says, about 4 months old. Severe dehydration and malnutrition, but no broken bones. Jim exhales a breath he didn't know he held. A breath he didn't know he held. One crisp autumn morning, Jim finds wolf tracks side by side with bobcat paw prints. No chase, no conflict, just 2 predators coexisting in a healthy wild. Looking up, Jim spots a mature bobcat slip through the underbrush. Hey! Golden eyes meet his for a heartbeat and he wonders, is that Max or one of his kin? It doesn't matter. What matters is a wild animal's confidence, its independence, and the knowledge that one act of compassion can help restore nature's delicate balance. Back at the centre, Sarah teaches students that wisdom lies in knowing when to step in and when to step back. Max's journey from orphaned cub to thriving father becomes their greatest lesson. That guided by respect and science, human hearts can help the wild remain wild, balanced, and full of hope.